And so, Kovic, would you like to explain to everybody what exactly is going on when we see Barney disappear and why we do it?
Oh yeah, so we start a run by abusing Hammer sort of a map format weirdness. So in the first it's called a tick, like the first. Imagine a frame, but on the engine side. In the very first tick of that, a bunch of stuff usually gets set up by the map. What you can do is you can make a quick save and then load that quick save using a keybind during that first tick, and that breaks a lot of stuff, including making Barney disappear. You can also lose your weapons, but doesn't matter on this map. And another thing that it does is that it makes the elevator that's at the end of this map to be in its default position, which is down the shaft rather than up the shaft, and that allows us to just jump down the shaft and save a bunch of time.
Right off the bat, you're going to see Eel here cruising around. So there's traditional b-hopping like in most older Source games. But on top of that, this game has a funny little feature. Gordon Freeman here had a bit of an accident coming into work. He sat on a stick of butter, and the human body being pretty warm, it warmed it up over time, and now it's very slippery. So by crouching, he can basically airstrafe on the ground, and that'll help him accelerate a heck of a lot faster than just b-hopping in the air. But if he messes anything up, he'll also decelerate a lot faster. So generally, the best way to get around is to start building speed by crouch sliding, and then once you have a lot of speed, you start b-hopping around.
Yeah, so back there where Eeld picked up the HEV suit, we discovered as we started getting faster and as time went on that a very weird glitch can happen if you're too fast when you pick up the HEV suit, where later on in the game, your HUD will actually disappear. So you won't have any idea of how much health, armor, or what your weapon count is. And so we found, to be able to continue going fast, all we have to do is just do a simple save buffer right after we pick up the suit, and for whatever reason, it prevents that from happening. So what you're seeing now on screen, Eeld, so in this category, we're allowed to clip through solid objects as long as we don't enter into the void. And so you're seeing Eeld now just clipping through control room and doing what we call the Kleiner skip.
And so in order to clip, you got to get yourself stuck in an object. That desk just has some goofy geometry where you can kind of just slide into it and get yourself stuck. But you will see some very cursed ways later that we get ourselves stuck in walls or floors so that we can clip down through them.
Yeah, so
anyway, we got
right here. Oh, shit.
Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
So right here we have a pretty long cutscene that we have to deal with. If there was a way to skip this, like in Half-Life 1, that would be just amazing, but sadly we can't. There's no stray debug trigger in the sky or anything, so unfortunately we just have to deal with this in a way.
Damn.
My favorite chapter.
And it's the only thing about if you're me or Knight and you reset runs all the time, is sitting through this cutscene when you can't skip it like in the OG Half-Life. That's kind of depressing.
I think we should have Knight talk about this level because no one's more enthusiastic about it than him.
That's true.
So this cutscene, there's an entertainment value of it that's it's hard to explain, really.
I
don't know. Yeah.
That's
worth thousands of resets just because it's so beautiful.
It is referenced in a lot of other games like Vital VR.
Eeld, just real quick, do you know if in your marathon do they do donation readings or anything like that, like in GDQ?
I have no idea, but I'm gonna assume they do.
Yeah, so usually in the test chamber, that's usually a good time. We'll have, if there's a lot of donations, to have them read out donations and things like that, since we have so much downtime.
Yeah, this was a good GDQ run because they had plenty of money poured in all the time.
Yeah, very cool animal.
Just lost our thread and we were like, please read a donation, save us.
Yeah. Okay, that's your responsibility. You need to donate a lot during Eel's run so that they have something to read.
So I do want to touch on, since we do have some downtime in the test chamber here, something that Johan was talking about earlier. So one really cool mechanic in the way that the devs built Black Mesa is the implementation of the crouch slide mechanic, which, unlike traditional b-hopping, it affords us a few advantages. One, it can accelerate us a lot quicker than if we were to just start b-hopping. And two, as you can see Eeld kind of sliding around different raised surfaces here on the floor of the test chamber. So crouch sliding, you can actually maintain speed while going upstairs and over small elevation changes on the floor or the map, so you don't lose speed or anything like that. Where if you were bunny hopping, you just stop dead if you hit stairs or something poking up from the ground or something like that.
As well with the crouch sliding mechanic, a lot of these stairs, you can just walk up these stairs smoothly, but that also means that we can crouch slide up these stairs smoothly, so it's a much better alternative to just walking because we can maintain our speed up the stairs. Just something small.
Little things. Speaking of little things, there's a very important tick that Eold's going to save here. He's going to jump on top of the cart and then not push it at all. It's just going to magically move forward. And that saves him a whole tick compared to just manually pushing the cart how you're supposed to.
Knight's internet's dying.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Oh, it wasn't a joke. Well.
No shit in my
shucks.
chat.
Oh no. It's okay, it's during the cutscene. It's fine.
Yeah, fair point. No, but this is his
Forward a
chapter, no!
It's okay. As long as you can get it back before we got hostiles, we're good.
Yeah.
There was a while
Did I die?
where... What? Go ahead.
No, sorry, what happened?
Knight's internet died.
Yeah, he lost
Yeah,
internet.
internet died, okay.
There was a while here where we thought there was a way to speed up this cutscene by blocking one of the vortigons that falls from the sky with a prop.
Oh, that was way too early. No.
Fun
no
fact, I was one of the main ones who figured out that you can die very easily in the test chamber by not doing anything and just standing still.
Yeah, gee, shvok, how do you know all that?
It's only happened to me like 100 times.
Golly.
So I used to crouch slide around the test chamber, and I would die sometimes, and everybody would always bully me, shvok, just stop moving around, stand still. I said, okay. The very next run, I stood still and died immediately.
This is a functional game where everything happens as you expect it to.
100%,
Except
not
this
janky at all.
cutscene, because, yeah, this is just an unfortunate series of events right here that was clearly not intended by the science team.
Yeah.
You might even say it was unforeseen consequences.
All right, but mistakes happen. You know how it is. Anyway, we got more cutscenes going on. So, back here, we're gonna need some subscriptions or donations from you, so we just want to read off.
So, Johan, do you want to tell them why we moved this stuff out of the way?
Yes, very important feature. Moving all the props out of the way. So there's two scientists here, the Venerable Kleiner and Eli. And Eli opens a door for you, so you need him to be around. Both these guys are pretty important to the plot of this and future games, so they both need to survive. So if you kill them, the game just mission fails, says you messed up. Try again. Well, unfortunately for us, Eli has a eject self-destruct button in his big toe. So if if the props on the floor are very unfortunately arranged during this little section here where Eli walks forward, he will stub his toe and then detonate, and the game will end. And so to avoid that, Eold here clears out the props and then also tries to teleport the NPC by making the NPC think he's stuck by putting funny things on his head, messing with his pathfinding. But it's a little finicky and it also doesn't save any time. So as long as he doesn't explode, we're good to go.
Unfortunately, he is on a timer.
If you get a perfect one tap teleport on Eli, I think it's kind of like the test chamber, the sample thing. It saves like a tick.
I don't think it does. Anyway, here we go, and we're off. No more cutscenes. Off to the races. Who's gonna be fastest? He's going, and he gets stuck immediately. So this is unforeseen consequences. It's very simple movement intensive, but there's a lot of corners and weird doors and just edges and not invisible edges. They're very clearly there, but there's a lot of things that you can get caught on. So the movement here is very precise. And if you get stuck on a few things, this next map in particular, there's some doors at the end on a cycle. Getting stuck on like one thing for like a quarter of a second ends up costing you like a whole second or two. So we'll see if you can get through smoothly. Here come the zombies. Uh-oh.
And he cleared the zombies. Yeah, so the trick to clearing the zombies in that hallway, regardless if you play 09, which is the main speedrun version, or Definitive Edition, which is the version you speedrun if you hate yourself.
Also known as the retail version.
Also known as the retail release on Steam. So if you're wondering the difference in the versions,
this one is older.
The DE Definitive Edition is what, if you buy the game right now on Steam and play it, that's the version you'll be playing. We speedrun 09, which, fun fact there, 09, we used to have to download it separately for the speedrunners, but after the game was showcased by Johan here at GDQ, the devs actually added it into the repository on Steam, so you can actually go and select 09 as a previous revision to play.
Let's
officially.
go.
Something that I forgot here is that there's a toolbox that you can clip down the elevator shaft with, and it saves a little bit of time. I'm not too sure how much, but it's not a whole lot. But it's an exclusive no void trick, and I don't go for that trick because I'm not smart, and out of sheer muscle memory, I just didn't go for it.
It's okay. We'll talk about our beloved toolboxes later.
Did Knight get his internet back yet?
Not yet.
I don't know. Working on it, maybe, hopefully.
Oh, almost.
So you got to turn some valves here, and speaking of, well, this is like unforeseen consequences 101 is randomly getting caught by barnacles. Those little monsters with tongues hanging from the ceiling. He's got to be very careful to avoid those, especially in this little sewer area here. Very nice, very clean. And then coming up here, we're going to have the first of many save deletes. So resource management is made quite easy for us in this game, in that if you make a save and then that save somehow gets deleted and then you try and load the save, the game gets confused and doesn't know where to put you, so it loads you into a developer set default position with roughly the amount of health and ammo you should have for that section of the game, which is a little generous in terms of how much health you should have. So usually you get full health and a little bit of armor and a decent bit of ammo. In particular here, we get some grenades, which are going to help us go very fast here in a moment.
Of course, this depends on the developers actually having bothered to set it all up. So there are a few maps, I think about 3 maps that they didn't do that, and so you cannot do a save delete on those. So that will be the moments of the game where we need to actually do some resource management.
No, nice use of the grenade here. Skip around. There's a very weird invisible wall there, and he very skillfully navigated around it.
So that second nade boost that he did there, that was actually a strat that the current world record holder Knight developed. We used to hop around the pipes there to the right, which is kind of like the intended way to do it, but Knight found a slightly faster way of doing it by doing a unpaused nade boost there to get across, which is slightly faster as long as you get it on the first try.
Also, the reason why people didn't go for that first is because it uses an extra grenade, and that is a problem because going into the next chapter here, which is Office Complex, you want to have 2 grenades if possible. It is possible with 1 theoretically. There's going to be a skip later on. We need the grenades to boost ourselves.
Yeah, so this is actually a map here where we don't save delete through Office Complex because we need grenades towards the end of the level. So if you play the game normally, that's usually when you get to the end there is when you go through a freezer section with a small puzzle and a bull squid. We skip all that. So we use another unpause boost or quantum pause boost, and I think Eel does the single nade, but traditionally we use a double nade boost to boost ourselves up from the cafeteria into where the elevator shaft is that leads into the next map trigger.
I hate single nade freezer skip with a dying passion.
Good luck.
There you go.
Speaking of quantum pause,
yeah, I was going to say, does somebody want to explain what quantum pausing is?
Yeah, so Eold here isn't just bringing up the developer menu because he likes seeing Cody looking things. It actually has some application in that if you pull up the what's it called, the console, and then run the command to unpause the game, pulling up the console pauses the game, and then if you run the unpause command, it doesn't fully unpause the game, in that Gordon remains frozen as if the game is paused, but the rest of the game unpauses. So enemies will move around, they'll shoot at you, they'll do damage, and damage in this game gives you knockback, boosts you. So while you're unpaused, you can take a crap ton of damage and then like release all that damage boost at once and go flying. Which is very important for certain tricks, but for grenade boost in particular, it's very nice for timing grenade boost at the very beginning of your jump. You don't have to know when the grenade exactly explodes. You just jump in the air and unpause as soon as possible, or quantum pause as soon as possible, and then right as the grenade explodes, you release it. Anyway, here on We Got Hostiles, everybody's favorite map in this category. We're going to do some weird voodoo stuff. There's going to be some barrels involved, some rotating hitboxes. You're not going to be able to see any of it. He's going to be looking at the floor the whole time. But yeah, it's gambling. It's gambling.
I was going to ask, do you want me to actually explain how that stuff works, or do we just make fun of it?
I think making fun of it is the play.
Have Kovic explain it, and then we bash it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Kovic, you want to go ahead and explain it?
Good luck.
There we go.
Okay, so this is basically voodoo involving the physics engine in the source games. So what is happening right now is you'll jump with holding the barrel in hand, and then save load it. And what that happened is it sort of made the barrel stuck a little bit inside the Gordon's hitbox. And what's happening now is that the hitbox is for some reason very slowly rotating along one axis. And so if you let it rotate for long enough, it sticks out enough so that when you're standing against this door, you can bop yourself with the barrel and get stuck in the door. And then once we're stuck, this is in fact the first prop clip that we've done.
This level is dog shit. Woo!
Yeah,
I don't think you can say that.
When you're stuck in the source engine, you can do a save load, and then the game will move you through the save load according to the velocity that you have currently. So now that he got stuck in the door, he exploded that grenade in front of him, and that gave him speed, and then with a save load he went through the door, and that skipped the entire chapter. So it's kind of like the one in Half-Life 1, just way more annoying.
Mashallah.
Also, the reason we shoot that scientist there is because when we do any form of damage to the scientist, he will, the game will allow us to press the button quicker to leave the chapter. So I didn't just shoot him just because I did it, because that way I can push the button to open the door so I can leave the chapter. I don't want that bull squid alive.
He's not that evil. Anyway, here's the most, probably the most original, or the oldest example of prop clipping, which is just getting yourself stuck in a door as it closes. Once the door shuts, it becomes like a physical object, and it's directly on top of you, so the game doesn't know what to do with it, so you save load. And if you have no velocity, the default with save loading moves you down through whatever you're stuck in. And he lands very nicely on a little slope there to avoid fall damage. Here we go. Picks up some health kits. Everyone's favorite trick here. This is Blast Pit Puddle Skip.
This is one
You're
of the
gonna build up
smoothest
a
mouth
bunch of
ever.
speed
Oh,
with these two
okay.
grenades. And with 1 HP left, that's how
And a
fast you know
dream.
he's going. And he's going to hit a very tiny slope here that's going to bounce him perfectly enough into this pipe over here, which skips climbing some ladders and saves about 8 seconds in a 2-hour run. God bless. I love that stuff.
I made a hard save there just in case the bull squid there shot me, because he likes to shoot me.
Yeah, 1 HP in a dream.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That was actually somehow really smooth. That might actually be not a gold split, but it's gonna be close.
That's what it's all
So
about.
what you're seeing now is this is like a 1000 IQ strat we developed, where in certain elevators we stand on top of the button to have
What?
oh my god!
This is a really funny strat. The game doesn't work. It crashes. There's a memory leak.
To be fair, I was grinding interloper. I was grinding like 4 ILs. And
Oh, you didn't restart the game?
For the actual marathon, please remember to restart your game.
Yeah, no, I will.
It's gonna crash
I
anyway
will.
at some point. We can just rip the band-aid off.
Yeah.
Fair point.
This is Black
game,
Mesa. We run an older build of the game. This stuff kind of happens. Guaranteed once per run, usually halfway through.
Yeah, my timer is weird. I don't know why it does this.
I don't know.
so anyway, the big brain strat there wasn't the crash, but it was you stand on top of certain buttons in some elevators so that Gordon bumps the map change trigger with his head slightly sooner than if you were standing on the elevator floor.
Very important 3 ticks. Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I need
1000
to
IQ.
fix my life
1000
split.
IQ.
Kovic, can you help me fix my life split after this?
Sure.
I could probably do it, but I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything different.
All right, moving on with more voodoo clip strats. We're gonna see Eald here tame the beast.
Bruh.
There's a giant tentacle monster in the silo that he's hopping in here. This rocket test silo, and normally you have to roast it, call it mean names, and then light it on fire, and it goes away. But Eald's a little bit of a nicer guy than that. He's a fan of all things wildlife, including giant space alien tentacle monsters.
Yeah, I like
So he's
conserving
gonna-
life.
Yeah, so he's gonna coax the monster into letting him through. Unfortunately, the monster is taking up the whole space for the ladder you're gonna see here. So he needs to coax the monster into letting him through in a very unconventional way, which is just beating him into the ground. Truly whack-a-mole style. He's gonna shoot around a little bit to attract the beast, and then it's gonna go smack. He's gonna save load. Currently stuck in the monster, and then he's gonna drop right through.
Bruh.
Oh,
You can save that.
there we go.
There we
This
go.
also long ago used to be one of the most voodoo clips in the game, but over time we have learned to tame the beast and that it is our friend.
It's a little, yeah, it's a little less well, still RNG, right as he dies. It's a little less RNG than it used to be, but when you actually clip through, if that first tentacle turns towards you, it'll smush Gordon between him and the wall, and it just
Yeah,
instigates
now you
you.
hope that Barney aggroes the tentacles, which is not happening.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, cursed.
Reload the glitch, and then go to the left. See what happens.
Yeah, move to the left. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you need that tentacle to turn away from you, so you don't get crushed.
No.
I thought I was so big brain for finding that out, and then I just suggested, and I'm like, all right.
My bad. Turn right.
Maybe next time.
So this is I don't remember who started doing this boost. I think it might have actually been me.
It was definitely you. Oh, wait. Oh, are you?
Doing this little satchel boost here as a quicker way of getting across. Well, Yield failed it.
Damn,
That's one of the easier boosts in the game. That
You
is
out here
pretty
getting
simple.
roasted
Just go
by
in
a
a straight
fossil.
line. Just go in a
You
straight
should have done
line.
the Half-Life 1 version.
Yeah,
True.
just go in the water. You can do it in this game.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on to power up the shortest level in the game. Blinking, you'll miss it. We're gonna grab this barrel, and probably, well, yeah, this is the most traditional prop clip, in that we're just gonna push the barrel, assuming we can get our hands on it. We're gonna push this barrel into the wall at a very certain orientation, and the source engine is not gonna like that and eventually just give up and give us what we want, which is a little clip.
Prop
There we
clip.
go. Now the barrel's inside him, and he save load. And unfortunately, the only good explosives we have to boost here are some trip mines. And so we're gonna blow those up, and hope that we don't end up going in the void here with these save loads.
You can use FPS 30 here to go more vertically in the wall, and I use it here just so that way I don't end up in the void.
Wait, you got like an FPS gearbox or something?
Yeah, there we go.
Yo! All right, this is on a rail. Nyht, take it away.
Okay, so first, I think that's too low. Is
It'll
that too
work.
low?
It'll work out.
Okay. Before we used to get like momentum by like using a grenade here and then just did 2 save loads, but instead I had the amazing idea of doing 15 save loads instead of wasting the grenade because everybody loves save loads. So then after that, instead of using that grenade, now we have more health, and because we have more health, we have 2 nades, and we can go all the way to the top instead of either taking the barnacle or taking the tram. And then leaving the tram, and which was really slow. That wasted like 20 seconds.
So
And then later in the map,
Go ahead.
there's I think it was T-Mob who found a clip using a toolbox that's literally saved 1 minute because you skipped everything with the tram, but nobody used it until like I found it 3 months ago in like strats, and I just asked, hey, why isn't like anyone using this? And now ore is actually fast.
T-Mob is notoriously cursed at finding good strats, notoriously good at finding cursed strats, but very bad at marketing them. So usually it takes a little bit of effort before people pick it up.
I don't like this save load sequence because it would be faster in RTA to take the tram, but I like the save load down here mostly because my setup is bad and I know that this will work.
Yeah, we have a bit of a source
Are you
speedrunning.
still stuck in the wall or something?
Yeah,
save
no,
loading.
this is what me and QV2B did.
You gotta make it go like faster.
Yeah,
I sang
I
I
should-
meant like no, like faster. I meant
Come on!
If I save loaded like a
I
second
meant you
earlier-
should have save loaded higher. You should have like
yeah,
went
save
forward.
loaded higher.
Alright, coming up here, you'll see the part where Nyht or Yield, very importantly, if you can figure out this prop here.
Yeah, I'm really good at the game.
This is a prop boost. If you move
What
a
the-
prop against the wall, the game gets
We
confused
love
and will
monorail.
start pushing you. But yeah, here the map kind of wraps over itself, and it's like a big figure 8. And instead of doing the whole figure 8, he just uses the 2 grenades he picked up to boost himself up in the middle of it. So he can
And
just
this
keep
is
running around.
why you use that save load trick instead of using the grenade. It's all within that.
And I am.
So now we got a little button puzzle to go over here. Also worth noting here, live on GDQ, Knight's biggest impact to Black Mesa speedrunning, when we just took a minute of just making fun of this guy, because long ago, before this fellow was in charge of everything, he reset this map religiously. To the point where he had many runs, faster than the world record, but not perfect enough. And how many attempts was it, Knight?
1,200.
How many attempts was it?
1,200.
1,200.
Oh my god.
What a champ. That's the price of greatness. That's what you got to do.
You had 4,000 on surface tension. Don't act like you're innocent. You had 4,000.
Hey, surface tension looks cool. There's no buttons on surface tension. There are, but don't worry about it. Oh my god, that's a
No,
lot.
there is. You have the elevator. You have the.
Anyway, folks, here it is. Everybody's favorite prop. This is the toolbox. Normally, prop clipping is very voodoo and weird and RNG. This thing works. You need something done, you grab your trusty toolbox. It's a very specific orientation that we hold this toolbox at and slide it into the wall, and almost every time it'll clip for you very quickly. Don't let me down. Healed.
There we go.
You're doing it wrong. I'm not kidding. The best angle to look at for clipping with a toolbox is you look at angle 69. I'm not joking. It's real.
That's how you know it's the best tool, the best prop for clipping.
Something
We
else
love
to
the
notice,
toolbox.
like a small optimization there on the ladder, was that normally you can ladder speed in this game by pressing crouch and E at the same time. I, however, don't do that because I literally cannot do it for the life of me. So, because I'm not used to doing that, I can actually jump and crouch and ladder speed while holding the prop up the ladder. Just a small little thing there.
Wait, what?
Which is to prove why ladder speeding with jump instead of E is better.
So health management, because of we need the game when we save delete here doesn't give us quite as many grenades as we would like and doesn't put us in a great position. So health management is actually very important here for the next couple of maps. And unfortunately, there's a lot of AI that's shooting at us in our way. So as you can see here, Yield flexing his NA aim, getting absolutely obliterated by these guards.
Yep.
Not having very much HP left for these grenade boosts coming up, but you know what? That's the fun of on a rail. We'll make it work.
My E button is like, no.
So there we go. We've set everything up to launch this rocket here that we need to do to put some satellite in space. But more importantly, there's a very special little cone here. Very special and dear to our hearts.
If you do this, you're not going to get a good one.
Look at the
So
pace.
this here is my biggest claim to fame in Black Mesa
Sing the
speedrunning,
song!
which
That's
is
coming
a space cone, where you take this cone and you drop it on the rocket pad there and send space cone to space, hence the name space cone. Don't ask me how just simply putting on the pad sends it to space. It does. And fun fact, I've proven this, but because the last time I did my a yearly Doom 3 playthrough in the Delta Labs, there is a traffic cone that looks exactly like Space Cone. Therefore, Space Cone makes it to Mars. We know this. Anyway, that is Space Cone, and if you send Space Cone to space, you have to sing the Space Cone song because that is how you're blessed with good RNG.
Very big words coming from the unluckiest man in Black Mesa speedrunning. Space Cone
That's
is
true.
a scourge on this earth, and if you save it, you are cursing your run to die by like halfway through.
We normally don't save delete on this map, but my HP was sort of trash, so I kind of had to.
Let it be known that Sub 1 has a safe space gun, but sure.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, coming up here is probably one of the funniest implementations of Quantum Pause. So Gordon unfortunately cannot fly. However, well, he can't flap his arms to fly, but we have a guard here that can flap his arms for us. And so he's going to punch him in the face a few times, then unpause right next to them. The guard proceeds to beat the crap out of him, giving him a bunch of speed so he can rise up to the top of this cliff and then run away to a weird backside of a cliff texture that he can get stuck in and clip into the exit of this map instead of having to launch a whole rocket and wait for it to go up and whatnot. Saves a ton of time. So here's this cliff side. He's on the back of it, and since the game doesn't really know what to do with the player when they're colliding with the backside of a terrain texture, it just kind of says, "Oh, you're stuck now."
Something else I did there was that you're normally supposed to get a better angle for that launch, but I unfortunately did the really old strat that I used to do back when I had like a 130 or something, just for the sake of not like being cursed by that guard, because the more times you reload on this map, the more times you just will not get the trick, and it just becomes more and more frustrating.
No. Black Mesa very much a snowball game where you just try and keep your sanity as much as you can.
Yeah, I don't like this map. At least not no void. And no clipping, it's okay because fun damage boosts.
Golly.
Or is the
Anyway.
best chapter. Bye, or.
Wait, what? Oh,
Look at my
bye.
split name.
Get well
on a rail.
soon.
See, it's these chapters in Onward and Definitive Edition that make it so much more painful because the soldiers have much better aim and you get back boosted into oblivion. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because it happens to me constantly.
Oh, dang. Should get that checked out.
I should.
You should play a different game. I mean, what?
Wait, guys, we're supposed to be showing off how cool this game is. We're shitting on it a little too hard.
If you want to run DE, that is your own personal choice. We will never make fun of you if you do.
Allie, so this is apprehension. You can pick up this bar. For the longest time, we didn't realize that and just try to shoot it out of the way. And then someone's like, "Hey, you can just hit E and pick it up." And I'm like, "Wait, we're not the
apparently
smartest."
Gordon
Wait, you
has
can pick
super
it up?
strength.
You can pick it up?
Yes,
Yeah,
dude.
you can just hit E. It's that easy.
Let it be known the world record holder didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about this game.
You also didn't know about the end skip, so I mean,
Yeah. So in apprehension, there's a bit of movement, a couple explosive boots. Thankfully, nothing too voodoo going on. There's one prop clip, but it is very friendly to us. Coming up here, we're actually going to see a little Easter egg. We're going to see the G-Man, you know. Half-Life Classic, here to do whatever men in business suits, stranger looking at you from a distance do. So here, you got to clear out this little fight, and then this barrel is going to be... Oh, shoot, where'd it go? You blew it away. Ah, there it is.
got
This
scared.
barrel is going to do us some great favors. We're going to push it through a door while it's moving to make it lose collision.
I actually don't know who found this clip.
I think it was a team up strat.
Okay.
Of course.
So I know we're getting on. So there's coming up on some of these strats here. We're going to be getting into an evolution of like, there is somebody who used to run the game who basically just found some of the most ridiculous stuff in like surface tension and.
We're not there yet.
Well, but it'll be coming up.
That's true.
This game is really old, but this version of the game is really old. Like, Black Mesa has been around as a mod for a very, very long time. So this community is, like, by no means, like, newer, I guess. A lot of the tricks do carry over, like, some of the routing and stuff. Oh, yeah, that worked
Well,
out.
also, what happened there, basically, is... I believe it was found in Portal 1 first, but when a prop kind of collides with collision, it makes the prop like into this weird thingy that you can just
Collides with
enter.
collision.
When the prop collides with a moving surface or a moving object,
Yeah.
I believe, it loses collision temporarily, and it will regain collision after 4 seconds, I believe.
Healed, are you going for it?
Oh, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. So there's a funny feature. There's some Vortigons that spawn in here and try and ambush you. And there's a funny feature where if you get stuck in an entity or a enemy as it spawns in, the game will just give you a crap ton of speed for no reason at all. And so he's gonna get himself right in the right place and then unpause as
You
it
used
spawns
the
in.
best feature.
That's a good try. Oh, maybe?
Nah, I'm not gonna go for this anymore.
No.
Yeah, you can get that.
I've
with-
done this. I've done this with one SMG nade. The way you do it is that you
Really?
bounce off this and just sort of strafe around there.
Yeah, I didn't realize you. I guess you can do it with two enemies.
All right,
I
whatever.
don't know. Anyway, woo! Oh,
I can get
that's
up
a new
here.
place I've ever seen.
This is just
Well, and
the
it was
thing.
actually that same runner I was talking about earlier at Escape who found that initially, that being able to do the unpause with a spawning entity.
Escape is a very important member of our community for finding all the coolest looking boosts.
We're gonna
Oh, no, they
see
got
some
us.
of his strats coming because didn't he find a lot of the clips here coming up in the sewage map?
That's the guy.
Oh,
that was Escape,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Oh, I
I
forgot.
think that
about
was him.
I think Team Up was involved too.
Oh, okay.
If
So-
you ever watch
Escape
this
and
run,
T-Mob.
yeah, if you ever watch this run and you're like, "Whoa, that looks sick! I kind of want to run this game now," it was probably found by Escape.
Yeah, generally, he's done the best marketing for our game in terms of strats.
Yeah.
And
So-
if you're like, "Oh wow, this looks so boring," it was probably found by Team Up or me.
If there's
No,
a
it's probably
trick in this
2-8-3-8.
game, it's most likely attributed to Escape or Team Mob, either one of the two.
Or 2838. If we
Or
complain about it,
2838
it's
as well.
2838.
We're not doing
We
PC
kind of
split, though.
have evolution or tiers of strats. You have the really cool, flashy ones that actually work and can be performed, and those are usually Escape. Then you have strats that can be kind of cursed, can kind of work, some that make you want to bang your head into your desk. Those are usually like 2838 or T-Mob. And then you have the super consistent, kind of boring, but will never fail strats, and those we refer
And lose
to
you
as
2 minutes.
Kovic. Those are Kovic approved strats. And so usually, especially if you're new to the game, we always recommend going with the Kovic approved strats first because they basically always work compared to everything else.
And there's the set strats that save like 0.25 seconds. That's me.
Let's go! So here we're doing
Whatever
funny
it
things with
takes.
props again, pushing them into moving surfaces to make them lose collision, which gets us through this trash compactor without having to wait for the trash to get compacted. This is residue processing. So basically, disaster happened at this facility. The government sent a cleanup, which are these military guys who've been fighting. They caught us in the previous level. They ambushed us and they bonked us in the head. And then by some unknown reason, by some unknown forces, we end up in a trash compactor instead of in prison or anything like that. And so now,
I'd like to point out a thing, please.
what thing? Go ahead.
We don't have the crowbar because we skipped it. Which I think is kind of funny. And it also means that we have to take a really weird route through this map because the intended route, there's a vent in your way and we're meant to break it with the crowbar and we don't have one, so we couldn't get through. So instead we're taking this barrel and we're gonna clip with it here.
Mind you, picking up the crowbar loses like a second and a half.
All right,
Actually, no. I
let's do
think this prop clip saves a lot more time now because you're thinking of the other prop clip.
Well, picking up the crowbar versus not picking it up doesn't lose any time.
Oh,
But this prop
you're
clip
talking
saves a
about
bunch. But you don't need to pick it. It doesn't matter if you pick up the crowbar or not to do this prop clip.
Yeah, yeah.
You just need to be holding the prop.
You know. So yeah, the whole plot of this level, I guess, is we're just kind of in the dumps, in the gutter, trying to find all our weapons again, so we can go back and let those military fellas and those aliens really have it.
I think in my 115, I took the crowbar, and I don't know why, but I think I took the barrel and I went to the vent and because I forgot I had the crowbar. I tried breaking the vent with the barrel.
You probably can't, because throwing the barrel does do damage, right?
I think so.
Will
Bro.
it break eventually? Nice platforming here by Yield.
Yeah, I play KZ.
So at one point in the game, we used to say that, you know, some of these strats that save like a tick or a second or two here and there weren't necessarily that important, and you should just get better with becoming more consistent at the bigger skips and just the game as a whole. Because up until that point, the argument was, well, it doesn't really matter because we're not even close to a sub 1 hour game, full game. And then Knight went and got a sub 1 hour full game.
My
Had
bad.
to ruin it for the rest of us.
Sorry.
That is the fun part about longer speed runs, though, when they're not the most well optimized, is like there's a lot of things you can mess up, but at the end of the day, if you get a few things right, a lot of those mistakes don't end up mattering.
Oh my
Exactly.
I just wanted to play the game. Don't blame me.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You just
I just
gotta
wanted to
find a new
break
game
new
now.
ground.
No.
Also, wait, do you not know the actual like other strat? Because there's no way you're doing this strat in the marathon.
No, I am.
So
You
gotta
are?
do.
Yes.
So this is the longest save load sequence we're going to see EOL do here, where this map is again a figure eight, it wraps on top of itself, but instead of having to go up like an honor rail, we have to go down, which you do with the prop clip. Unfortunately, we have to go quite far down, so it takes about like 100, maybe, no, it was like, what was it, 30 something, 40 something save loads?
140? No.
No, how many? It's like 40 or 30.
It's
or something.
90.
Wait, it's 90 save loads there?
No, it's 50. It's 50. It's 50. What are you
I've
talking
It's a
about?
lot of save loads
I've
to
gotten
drop
this.
down.
In,
just a
I've
few
gotten
feet.
this in like 1.5 minutes, if not less.
I thought it was like 30 something, but I don't know. Could be
Okay,
wrong.
what's up with my
Anyway, it's the
loads?
longest save load sequence in the game. We try and write the rules to limit very long save load sequences because they're not fun to watch and they're not fun to do. This one manages to remain within the bounds of all the rules, and so that's why we still have it.
This was also a
I
big
hate this one so
point of
much.
contention in the Half-Life 2 community with Eli 01 skip, but it technically doesn't enter the void like in Black Mesa, so it is legal.
Do we ever explain what the void is?
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Kobe, you wanna tell the people?
Yeah, Kovic, I think you should explain
Yeah,
what
so
the void is.
they've alluded to it now. So there's a lot of abusing you can do with the save loading shenanigans and getting moved through walls, and it's really annoying, especially in this game. It's fine in Half-Life 2 because the game loads in like a second. This game doesn't load in 1 second. It doesn't load in 10 seconds very often, just because of how good looking and pushing the source engine it is. And so we try to limit that by banning going inside the void. And the void is the space that's located outside of the sealed volume of the level, which all levels need to be sealed in the source engine because they're built with something called binary space trees. It's not important, but basically imagine like there's water in the outer binds of the level, and the water is not allowed to seep into the level. So every single hole needs to be plugged. And so this is important because later in the game there's gonna be some wacky strats that might make you think, yeah, you're totally in the void. There's nothing there, but it's not the void as long as you can move. In this game is the rule. So yeah, some things might look fishy, but trust us, they're 100% legal. If we were in the void, it would be worse.
Speaking of questionable looking strats, we're coming up to everyone's favorite voodoo level, questionable ethics.
I just realized how many save loads there are in this one.
Yeah, there's a
look
lot.
at the difference between real and game time.
Yeah.
It's only just 20
Have you seen
minutes.
QB2B's like difference?
Yeah,
It's like
I have. It's so bad.
40 minutes.
His interloper load times are like my Gonarch's layer load times.
QV2B, Black Mesa speedrunning legend, who originally did not have a computer good enough to run this, so he ran the latter half of the game through Steam Remote Play, and he almost beat some of us. Anyway,
Did he beat shvok, or was close to at least?
it was getting there. Anyway, so this map is very funny. It's a bit of a circle. We go around and do some stuff and then come back to where we started. And we used to have some very funny strats for it. Then the devs patched it out. And then some fellas in our community were very upset by that. And so they more or less modified the exact strat we used earlier, but figured out a way to make it work in extremely cursed means. So we have this barrel here. We're going to use that to clip into the exit of the level. Unfortunately, we need to get this barrel out of bounds first to use it to clip back into the exit of the level. So we're going to push it against the wall in a very wacky way. We're going to hope here, and instead of the barrel getting stuck into us, it's going to get stuck in the wall. Just like that. And so now, to get to the exit of the level, we have to go out of bounds ourselves, which Eold is going to abuse a very funny, very convenient texture in the wall here. He get himself stuck between these little two lips. And then as he transitions to back into the next map, he can save load down to get himself out of bounds again. Or to get himself out of bounds to begin with. And so now
I'd like to advise against out of bounds, because it's still technically in bounds.
If we
to get himself
more
outside of the
inbounds.
intended play space.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't think anything was intended.
Yeah. Anyway, now that both he and this barrel are outside the intended play space, he can get himself up on top of the area that transitions to the next map. Get the barrel up there first with a little help from his trusty pistol. Maybe. Here we go.
There we go. This'll
Okay.
work.
And then he'll get himself up there too. And then he'll clip back down using that barrel and the roof he's standing on.
I've
Again,
never seen someone do that way. That's cool.
yeah, you're weird. No, sorry.
It works, bro. It works.
There we go.
Going outside of the quote intended play space like this, end quote, this is something you'll see a lot come up later in Zen. And so this area, Kovic lovingly refers to it as displacement land. So if you hear that phrase, that's what we're referring to.
It's a very lovely place where everything functions as you would expect it to.
Fun fact, if you move here before hitting the level transition, you just like stay there. You just don't go.
Yeah, that's a bug in this version of the game. So the level change trigger that's in that little room, it's not big enough, and so it's possible for you to enter it and then leave. And because that one particular is set up that you need to stay inside the volume for 2 seconds straight for it to change the map. If you enter it and then quickly leave again, the game just gets stuck and you never load into the next map. They fixed it in later patches eventually.
So we mentioned a person called Xscape earlier. This is his setup for Dam Skip that I'm going to try to perform here.
Hardest strat in the game. Good luck. Here we go. Gets a bunch of speed, bounces off a random block in the road.
Close.
Good try. Oh, the pause, the perfect save.
Nice.
There we go.
Adopt pause binds.
So a lot of the strats you're about to see, including the next one, is well, actually the next one's a modified version of an escape strat where we used to use an SMG nade to kind of canyon surf up this canyon wall here instead of having to run around, go up a ladder, run across a ledge, go up another ladder the intended way. And then as it evolved over time, Kovic found that if you boosted just right, you could go up behind the electrified fence and the map that he just skipped there. And then at some point, I don't know who found it, you could do a double nade boost as you just saw and skip all that.
That was
clean.
Wow,
that was clean.
I didn't even have time to explain it all before it was done. That was very nice.
Nice. That's a really
So
good
yeah, that
gold.
was a heavy evolution. This entire chapter has gone through crazy evolutions.
This
might
entire
actually be-
Shout outs to
chapter
Black
is
Mesa done quick, which does this in like 2 minutes. The whole chapter.
To,
Shout out to
just,
Marka P, who's a really good commenter who encouraged me to push my ability in this chapter to my absolute limit, just to match his pace.
For reference, the world record for this level a little over a year ago was 6 minutes.
I love this.
And now
skip.
in real time we can do it in less than 4, and in Black Mesa Done Quick we do it in like 2. This is a lot. This is the first level where we're truly like outdoors, so there's a lot of open space. There's a lot of slopes, and we get a lot of explosives, so we can really just fly through everything, as you can see right here.
What?
And for the longest time, we didn't know exactly how to fly through it, but yeah, we had a big race. People started grinding surface tension, and
Okay.
particularly Escape found a lot of really funny boosts that just let us whiz through everything here. So, Nate, you want to talk about the bird coming up here?
Oh yeah. So this map is really cool. So the first boost is you use a rocket launcher to basically do the same thing you do in the second map, where you surf off the canyon. But a very unfortunate thing that would happen a lot is, actually no, it was only me, because I never saw anyone else this happen to. But there was this crow that basically made it surf. You get stopped. And
Yeah,
it's killed like 10 of my runs.
The background birds that fly by have collision for some reason. It's a good time. Oh, that was beautiful. The perfect amount of height. Not too much, not too little.
I don't like those head crabs. I would usually kill them, but it is what it is. We're gonna let them live. I died now.
So hitting any trip mine in this room just ends the game. And leaving those head crabs alive could be very dangerous if they decide to jump in a stupid way. Trust us, this SMG nade boost is very safe. They usually should not blow up the trip mines. There we go.
If only we could do Maxim's trip mine hell.
I don't know what that is.
It's a
That's a Half-Life 1 strat.
It's a Half-Life 1 strat that is
I mean, we
significantly
almost
faster.
do it. Just get a little helping hand from the SMG grenade. A fun fact about that warehouse, there's a 1 barrel in there, which if you shoot, the whole game crashes.
Yep.
Every time.
Very useful for an emergency bathroom break if you need to intentionally crash the game. Coming up here is probably, in my opinion, the sickest boost in the game. This is another one of those teleport boosts that we were talking about in Apprehension. Eold is going to boost himself right above where some enemies spawn in and then unpause the game. And then as these grunts spawn in, they're going to give him a crap ton of speed as he yeets himself up, lands on top of skyboxes. That's how high he is, and then hops back down here.
I think that's
that
my
was-
favorite strat in the game.
That was the first boost like that Escape found, and then somebody had the idea of doing it back in crap, what was it? The other map, Apprehension, with the Vortigaunts to boost you up that elevator shaft. So, but yeah, that was the original iteration of it right there.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, big open areas and enemies spawning in is quite a rare combination in this game. So that kind of teleport boost, we really only get immense value out of in just that map that he finished.
I don't like that Vortigaunt.
Yeah, he called him a bad name.
Actually,
the
no.
double nade,
Last
nice.
map, that's not the best strat. The best strat is coming up soon.
Oh
No.
yeah, the light map.
Oh, that okay, yeah. Kovic,
damn.
do you want to explain the cursed prop?
I will do my best. I should probably start now, right? Okay. So in the next map, there is a particular item or a prop, as they usually call it in Source Engine, that we want to pick up, and it's a light fixture. But that one is a little special because it's not like a usual prop. It also has attached to itself something which is called a brush entity, I believe. Basically, it's like there's a bit of wall glued on to the fixture, and this does very cursed things. In particular, it means that if you bump into it from some directions, you will just get insane amounts of speed. And we will use this to go through a gate here. Yeah, like that. You see that? Just flying like this. This is ridiculous, frankly. Anyway, so we will now, or Yield will do a lineup with the light to get stuck in it, and then also to get immense speed at the same time, and you just go through the wall.
You're
You
normally
get
never
such-
supposed to fly that high, but I've gotten pretty good with messing with the light.
I was gonna say I love how you used it to guide yourself down to that,
That was
spot.
completely
I've never seen
accidental.
anybody do that before.
We were doing it in the segmented route, and in classic fashion, my segment got beaten by Markup B. But it also made me really good at this entire chapter.
Wait, so this entire chapter on BMDQ, does it just use like regular strats too?
Variations of them, yeah.
Variations? Okay.
We tried to cut time any way we can.
I see. That's crazy though, that it's like the same strats, just variations, and it like saved like a minute 30.
Well,
So-
they do void clip through the trip line room.
That's the only method.
So
Yeah.
for a
It only
majority of
saves
us,
like 30 seconds, right? Or like 40.
Oh my gosh, we just saved
Sure.
40 seconds.
yeah.
Yo.
So for a majority of us, myself included, this map transition right here is
I'm gonna
usually
submit
where
that.
the game crashes. Like if you were just to play it through, do a speed run on 09.
But thanks to Blast Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Blast Pit, our favorite chapter.
But normally, if it doesn't crash here, it'll crash
Okay.
somewhere on Zen, and that's no good.
Oh, we might be able to go for the
Yeah,
IO.
we like the game to intentionally crash somewhere that we expect it, so we can make good saves around it. If the game crashes right after you pulled off a really hard trick and before you can save,
Whatever.
bad things. You'll notice that anyone who runs this game a lot has a very much a tick response of just saving every like 5 seconds or so, just in case something goes wrong.
Thankfully, it 99% of the time only crashes on map transitions when you're loading a new map, but sometimes, not always.
Yeah, so most speedrunners have saves bound to either like spacebar or mouse button or some easily accessible key, just so they can match that stuff as much as they need it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I use the forward button on my mouse.
Johan,
to,
what was your
save?
save button? Like F4?
I used to use F4 or something like that, but no, now
Oh
it's
my
bound to my
God.
mouse. I learned very quickly the error of my ways.
If the game doesn't crash in the one of the 2 or 3 expected spots, you'll see that save tick for somebody running the game. Every 5 seconds you'll just see save flash across the screen, because at that point we become incredibly paranoid.
This is a habit I've developed from other Source Engine games, but in Black Mesa it plays to great effect because it too is also a Source Engine game. Now they're kind of scared of us. Explode. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, nice HP.
let's go! You can SMG nade boost with 30 HP, but you just gotta be very careful about it. I think 24 is roughly the limit where things start becoming not very possible.
Yeah.
So now the Lambda Boar, Lambda Chore, Lambda Snore, whatever you want to call it. This map is 10 minutes long. Slightly under that. The world record is about 9:48, 9:30, something like that. There's about 3 minutes of gameplay here. It's going to go by very fast, and there's going to be a very long cutscene. So,
Yeah, that was,
Nice
that
little
was way
ramp.
too early. I did that
Yeah.
boost really early because I was not in a proper setup to do the boost normally. So I
I've
thought,
never
hey,
seen
whatever
it break
works.
the pallet though before. That was great.
I started
have some
strafing off the
momentum.
wrong side, so I tried to develop a setup for that. There's a very, very difficult trick where you can sort of fly straight to the ending, the exit door in that map. It's really hard, but I'm attempting to find a consistent lineup, and I did not do the lineup consistently enough because I strafed to the left side and muscle memory has failed me.
I have a question. Is this PB pace?
No.
Really? I haven't seen you fail like one strat.
Well, I just failed the, yeah, the
Well,
other
when
one.
your internet dropped out,
No, it's just that I had a stupid good early game, and I'm also getting really good at Interloper. I have 2 minutes of time save there alone.
I apologize, Dr. Freeman, but I'm
Hopefully
sure
we
you
can get
understand that I
sub-pro alert
couldn't
this run, but
risk
it's
opening
not
that door
likely.
until you had scoured the area. This is the last entrance to the
Here's the first of many cutscenes. We're gonna very kindly detonate this scientist to save him from the future of what Earth becomes here. This scientist opens a door for us, and he's very slow about it, so we gotta take out our frustrations on him. But also, this satchel that we're gonna use to blow him up boosts us up a very small set of stairs.
Waiting for you, I mean.
Okay. Sure.
So, fun fact about that scientist, I almost forgot. So when he opens the door, during his dialogue, he mentions that there were a group of scientists there, and they all drew straws to see who would stay back to open the door for Gordon if he made it to that point. Every time you play through the game, it spawns in a different scientist. So it's just kind of a neat little unique thing to match the dialogue there.
Different face.
Yeah.
For the longest time, T-Mob, like, I was subscribed to him on YouTube, and he uploaded a video where it was just up close face of one of the scientists. So for the longest time, I just assumed that T-Mob looked like one of the scientists from Black Mesa. Anyway, here's another convenient part where the map kind of wraps over itself, so we can get ourselves stuck in this prop and just drop right through to the exit.
This is one of the lowest effort skips in the game that saves an outrageous amount of time.
Absolutely.
Something else to note about prop clipping is that it's possible in a lot of Source Engine games. It's just that in Black Mesa, it's significantly easier because we can automatically, like, there's a setting in the game to where we can automatically run, and that applies to when we are crouched as well. So because of that, we're able to prop clip much more consistently than in Half-Life 2.
Something about transitioning into a crouch while running forward and holding a prop just really makes the game forget what it's doing, so that I can just get the prop stuck in you.
Yeah, also the sliding mechanic helps with that, because if you played older versions of the game before the sliding, then prop clipping is still easier, but it's not as easy as here, because also the fact that you slide into the prop at high speed, that just helps with the clip as well.
Oh, hey, the reactor's on.
Oh yeah, forgot
It's
there
not
was
a
a
common
reactor
thing.
here.
Yeah, I don't really understand how it works, but sometimes those lasers are just turned on. The red lasers and like the core, that yellow core thing, are turned on. Sometimes they aren't.
There's a trigger somewhere, I just don't know where.
No.
So that strat you just saw Eold do there with the 2 grenades to boost himself up the reactor. So there's 2 variations of that strat. There's the 2 nade strat, which you saw him do, and the Kovic approved 3 nade strat, which is far more reliable. And back before Knight, or really Johan, we witnessed another runner who was the previous world record holder a while back, A-Table, on a world record pace run and lose, I think it was like 30 or 40 seconds by attempting the 2 nade strat, because it can sometimes just not work. So you kind of small gamble sometimes when doing the 2 nade strat versus the 3.
And now half the community is scarred into doing slow strats. A tragedy. A tragedy. Yeah.
Oh,
the kids are all right. Oh. So there's some weird explosive boosting going on here to skip a little cycle of waiting on those moving platforms. Didn't quite work out. Anyway, here we're on to our favorite part of Lambda Core, which is cutscenes. Cutscenes.
Yay.
The first one here is a big ladder. That was fun.
More cutscenes.
The next one here is we're talking to a lot of scientists. Eold, are you gonna install the mod?
Oh, to change the pictures on the monitors. Was gonna. I just don't know how to do it.
They're outdated now. We need new ones.
I was just gonna make them from like my images folder.
I guess you can. Go ahead if you know how to do it. I was
I
gonna say
don't.
2 3 isn't exactly available right now.
So, Johan, do you want to explain what happens if you happened to accidentally destroy one of those monitors?
Yeah, so a while back, I was testing some incredibly voodoo prop clips to go through the door that we're kind of waiting on these scientists to open. And I'd shoot a rocket to boost myself through. And this being like a cutscene with mission critical personnel, if you kill someone, if you destroy one of these scientists, the game will mission fail. That said, if Eald would be so kind to shoot one of these scientists with a revolver, a very powerful gun in this game.
No, this guy right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
This guy right here.
Maybe we still need him around. Maybe in like the foot or something. The scientist is completely fine. These guys have a ton of health. They do not die quickly. However, there is something else that is mission critical in this room that does not have a lot of health and will game over if you destroy it. That being the monitors. For some reason. And so yeah, you break those screens, the game just game's over. It says these monitors are like the Ultra LG 4K gaming curved screen 3D 12 million FPS monitors, and if these scientists lose it, they won't be able to do their science stuff. So
Oh, that was lucky.
that was pretty good.
Yes. So if you're
Yeah, they're actually the new phony monitors.
They
They look like old Macs, but they're something different.
I've never noticed the detail. That's a great phony.
Run with high graphics settings, kids.
This kind scientist here is going to give us the long jump module, which will help us go very fast, very easily.
Nice teleport.
Thank you.
This is the long
There it
jump
is.
module.
What
So now-
we've waited like 2.5 minutes for.
Let's go! It's all worth it. It's all worth it in the end. Now, if Eald hits the jump button twice very quickly, he gets a long jump, which basically yeets him off with a speed of like weaker explosive boost. And because of crouch sliding, we can chain those long jumps together very quickly, one after the other, and just keep building up speed, which will help us very much in the upcoming levels. But first, here's another cutscene.
Yay! 2 cutscenes back to back, and they're both super long.
Admittedly, this one looks really cool. I love the teleporter.
This is the unfortunate thing
it's
about the
good.
transition to the source engine. You cannot scare the scientists like in Half-Life 1, and you cannot shoot a bee into the teleporter to just skip the sequence of charging, you know.
That would be awesome.
Maybe next time. Oh,
What?
oh,
That's just unfortunate.
failure.
I'm gonna try to do the thing where you can like show what's on the monitor, but I'm like,
You do have textures on high. We might be able to see. You can do it. If you fall down, it's not the end of the world. You can jump back up.
Now
Or
you
at
can
the
see
end-
it.
Oh, dang it!
Oh,
Too
more?
pixelated.
he's got a really cool keyboard though.
Yeah, he's gaming. Oh, look at that mouse. That mouse is chunky. Oh,
Once it has begun, I must not be interrupted or I'll have
falls on message boards while the world is
That
ending.
looks like a mouse that I made in Blender in 7th grade.
Dang. Did you work on Black Mesa?
Yeah, no, that's me right there. That's me.
Yo,
Real.
that's crazy.
I swear you should be able to read that, or is it just... Does it have to be modded for that?
It might
Maybe you
be.
need
It
the,
might
like,
be my
cross-
graphics settings. I'm not too sure.
Try using the
Actually, I can
crossbow.
just check right now.
Oh, the crossbow. Yeah. Wait, no, the crossbow's not going to zoom in anymore.
Oh
The
yeah,
suit
no,
zoom
I'm on
would.
medium. Wait, no, that's
Dang.
models.
Changing graphic settings mid-run, very dangerous.
I love
Probably
I love quantum pausing, not because of the stupid advantages it gives us over normal pausing, but because I can change my graphic settings mid-run.
And volume, that's great.
Yeah, true. So we can turn up the music volume. I should really make a bind for that, but I'm lazy.
So old AI, the AI in this older version of the game that we're running is very nice and predictable. One of the very nice and predictable things that they do is kind of get stuck in the ceiling here. There's these floating aliens that normally would shoot at you, but the ceiling is not flat, and so the big old brains get stuck up there, and then they can't pathfind to us for whatever reason. So Eald can just sit up here very safely, just wait for the cutscene to play out. By the way, if you're wondering what happens, what the heck's going on here, so we more or less figured out that to stop this whole alien invasion thing, we gotta go into the space dimension and blow up a big brained baby. And so these scientists are sending us off, and have this big old teleporter contraption to send us there.
The reason
It's gonna be
that
great.
these AI like sort of stay up here, I think, is that these AI is like they want to be above the player at all times, but because of how we're literally at the ceiling, they want to go up the ceiling, but the ceiling's sort of blocking them, so they're just infinitely trying to go up. I believe that's how this
They're
works.
trying to get the high ground, but there's no ground
They're
left
trying
to
to,
hide.
unless you're these two, because this guy is trying to go on top of this guy, but this guy's also blocking him, which is just this is unfortunate. It is what it is.
CS:GO teammates in action. There we go. Woohoo!
Something
Now
else,
we're off to Zen.
Something else
The
I
fun
did
part
is
of the
that
game.
I picked up a lot of armor, which is going to be really useful for a skip I'm going to do, which is a variation of Vista skip. And there are two methods that I was told of. First one being double satchel off the start, but I don't have two satchels. So I'm going to do the boost that I was messing around with for a while. It's incredibly inconsistent, and I'm going to try to get it first try.
Godspeed.
Yeah, you ever
Here we
heard of
go.
midair
Everybody
satchels?
salute. He's gonna take
Go
off.
back and land the core and get the satchels.
No.
So, Zen, we are in space. There's low gravity. And also we're in late game, so every time we save delete to load up that default developer state, we get a bunch of health and a bunch of explosives. So, in short, this is where Gordon Freeman here and Eold learn to fly.
A lot of explosive boosting in Zen.
Didn't get it.
Oh. No! You're supposed to nail that. It's for the crowd. It's a cool moment. Dang it.
Alright, I'll go for the safer one.
Oh, this is the... There we go.
There we go, that's better.
We get the boost.
Oh. We need...
I like the consistency of just hitting a target and being teleported.
Alright, buddy. Okay. Unfortunately, we interrupt this space flying to bring you a quick venture through a space lab. Very neat detail that was added that isn't in the original Half-Life is this sort of much more fleshed out human research stuff going on in the Zen dimension.
There's
Also,
a lot
I-
of flashing out in Black Mesa in the Zen levels because they're not 20 minutes, but like 300 hours.
Yeah, half this game in like casual gameplay is the space levels, which they are pretty, which is makes them fun. Very neat.
Something else
Big
that I did
fan.
there is with the plug. I don't know if anyone saw it, but I put the plug through the floor and then into the like through the floor of the table because why not? It's just completely coincidental, but if it happens, it happens.
I don't think anyone is surprised that the walls in this game are merely suggestions when it comes to things you can pick up.
Yeah. I somehow saved time there. Cool.
So here's a really nice open map coming up with some unfortunate invisible walls in the way. Yoda is going to very strategically boost himself off a specific slope with some satchels, and then very precisely strafe around a lot of invisible blocks to get himself to the end of the map immediately. A 1, a 2. There we go. Oh,
Yeah, no.
shucks.
And then immediately bump his head.
That's what Black Mesa is all about.
There, that's better.
Friends don't let friends speedrun games without quick saving.
Console gamers in shambles.
Maybe next time. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We're gonna have to do a different strat here, which is just called boosting with Tau Cannon.
That's a good name for a strat. Oh, what the heck? You like rode up that tree.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was wacky.
Wait, what? I missed it. What happened?
Oh, I'm
Dang, you're
bad.
not even watching the run he's commentating. That's crazy.
No, I was just drinking water. Please.
He like
He's trying to
surfed
survive.
into like the tree that was like more or less just straight up, and somehow he gained a lot of height out of it.
Zen is the like the entirety of Zen, Gunnar Slayer, Interloper. These chapters are the chapters where you can do some pretty improv strats and get away with time save.
Yeah, it's
Unless you're nice.
that's never happened before the game. So, in the previous section, I introduced a little mechanic we're going to see a little bit more of here. There's some tumors growing on this tree that need to be removed. And so, Gordon is going to go around here and blow them up, and it's going to open a big leaf at the end of the level. Which
But
I think...
first, a rehatch of the warehouse map.
Yeah, of course. Everybody loves trip mine sections. Whoa!
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
Oh, no! There's two head crabs here that very much like to jump into the trip mines that are all around you. And so you gotta very strategically shoot them so that they do not ruin our beautiful pace.
That has not happened to me in a long time, but it was probably because of the weird slope that I accidentally hit. That caused their AI to be like, jump forward.
Here's a funny wall that doesn't exist, despite very clearly being there visually. Just jumps right through it.
Shout out to mines for making me lose, like, the 58 Sag.
Did you get stuck there?
Yeah. I lost like 20 seconds.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Unfortunately.
Some very nifty satchis we placed down here. A little slope and go up.
That worked out.
And so coming up is probably one of the wackiest, one of the more difficult boosts, especially in this level Zen.
I hate this boost.
He's going to be rolling up a river with a ton of speed, and then he's going to hit a very tiny invisible slope that he pretty much has no visual reference to find. He just has to go really fast and hope he hits it.
I messed up.
Not quite.
Not even doing the SMG, Nate. The nerve.
You can do this without like any boosting, any back boosts, any explosive boosts, just long jumps.
That's better.
There we go. Oh, delicious.
I used to do this with the SMG nade, and then Knight was like, 5 head, why not use the Tau cannon? And I went like, okay, I'll try that. And I actually got it like first or second try. So I now do that from now on.
Yeah. Also makes the health management for the later section of this much easier.
Yeah, it also allows me to do this little boost right here.
Woohoo! Easy 1 second time save.
I saved time. Yo.
Gold?
I didn't know I somehow saved time. I thought I actually lost a couple seconds there because I had to retry the boost.
Golly. Now we get some more water. Everybody loves water.
Golly.
Indeed. Water's really nice because you just kind of boost yourself and then hold the space bar and you just keep your speed. You kind of like skip across it like a stone. So it's very, very easy to learn. Not too much going on. Just hold the space bar and have a good time. Ooh. Now we're on to coming up here. That right there is hamburger map, which we're going to enter in backwards. Supposed to drop down some hole to get to the section where he's gonna go hit change level trigger, but we just go hit it from the other side. And this is unfortunately a very big button puzzle. If you know how to skip this kind of thing, please let us know. We would be very interested because this map takes like 4 minutes, and unlike everything else in this game, is rock solid.
There's no way that we can figure out how to skip this.
No, it looks pretty though. Oh,
that's gonna work out. That's gonna work out. I just need to bail to the side. Or not.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yo, what if we could just swerve around the entire map twice?
You can. Yeah. It actually saves like 5 seconds if you do it really fast.
Oh, yeah. There you go, like out of order.
That's better. I intend to hit the ceiling there.
Yeah. There you go. Some little explodey hound eyes.
Really cute, but they like to kill us, so we have to kill them. It's unfortunate.
They don't even do that much damage. Come on, get over it.
I'm not just gonna take the hound eyes.
The large hound eye does 0 damage. It just knocks you back. I have no
really?
idea what they were thinking. Yeah, it does nothing.
Oh, the huge one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't.
The one with the armor. Right.
No clue what you're talking about.
In Zen,
I've
the
probably
big
never
one.
seen it. Have you even played this game casually?
We see it once, and it was on the other map with the invisible hound eyes, which unfortunately were not invisible.
Yeah, sometimes that one's invisible too, so you just don't even see a single one in the entire game.
It is what it is.
Maybe next time. It's okay. You gotta keep some of it unspoiled. This is a funny little strat. Or no, not this room. The next one coming up, there's a lot of explosives. And we'll get there when we get there. The gist is you gotta grab these crystals to power things up and then hit buttons to open up doors. Go ahead.
How much is a hound eye?
How much damage you say?
No, wait. You said huge hound eye. Is that good much?
No, there's like bigger armored hound eyes in Zen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish this up. 1 second. I'm sorry for
You're fine.
World
Nice little
record
slow
holder.
boost. Yeah. It's okay. We're like, as we mentioned earlier, we're a little slow to pick up on things. Anyway, so this room is full of explosives, and normally you have to sort of blow up one half, close some doors to block the explosion from getting to you, and then blow up the other half.
Yeah, that'll
But
work.
these explosions create a big kill trigger, and there's a tiny little gap above the kill trigger that we can jump to.
I didn't get a long jump in.
Which this whole like apparatus on the ceiling that he's jumping into has no collision, and if he gets high enough in it, he's just above the kill trigger, so he can blow everything up at once. Saves a ton of time.
I forgot what you would normally do for this, but then again, I haven't played 0.9 casually. Maybe the puzzle's different.
You
Nah,
close
it's
the
same
doors.
here, pretty sure.
Also, shout out Joel Nielsen for creating absolutely banger soundtrack for Black Mesa.
Bro, this music, when you're on a really good run, you're just kind of stuck here waiting for like button things to play out. Like, shit goes hard.
Unless you're on elevator skip, which the music makes everything way more intense.
Yeah. Well, this is like the I'm doing it music.
Yeah, it's sort of like, oh my god, I'm almost there. Because elevator skip is later on in the game, and it is, in my
It's so
opinion, the hardest skip in the game.
Woohoo.
Like,
This
it's not
game
as hard as
Citadel 02.
it's not as hard as Citadel 02, but you could compare it because it's really hard. It's at the end of the game, and it can make or break your entire time save. I almost got cool RNG.
That was still pretty dang good. These wires are very wiggly, so if you can, you flick the wire into one plug so that it lands in the other one just automatically. Otherwise, you have to look like a little stupid and like run around trying to grab it.
We are totally getting that for BMDQ, aren't we?
Yeah, no, we are. It's gonna suck.
Have fun. All right, there we go. Almost done here. Just got one little gemstone to plug back in.
Gotta be tradition because I thought that you actually had to do this, and I wasted 10 seconds on this button.
There we go. Well, there's the
Oh,
button.
it's combat with the rocks. Oh, got it.
Yeah. And you're not even gonna look at the teleporter as it does like its cool animation. Got the beam. There we go.
That'll work.
Onward to Gonark.
A big round sphere in the middle of a chamber where you have to press 3 buttons. That sounds familiar for some reason.
I don't know.
Eh. Maybe next time. There we go. Gonark's lair. We fight the big head crab queen. Except we, as mentioned in Blast Pit, are pacifists, so we're not gonna fight her. We're gonna let her do her thing. We're gonna stay out of her way, mind our own business. We're trying to get somewhere. We're not trying to get in any conflict. So, right here, actually, the level geometry in the unintended space is very goofy. So we can just boost our way out of here off some slopes,
I don't know why I paused there. Misclick.
and then explore our way through some invisible walls here. And then conveniently, there's a hole here at the very end of the level where we can just kind of crawl back through.
I just mistimed it completely.
Maybe next time. Oh, there you go. So yeah, we just crawl back inbounds, and bada bing, bada boom. Skip the first map. Gonark is unfortunately very big, complicated maps, and so a lot of these load times are going to take 50 seconds to a minute.
My PV chance is an entire
We're not even
percent.
back inbounds. Like we're hitting the trigger just sticks out through the wall slightly, and we're hitting
Oh,
like,
shoot,
the other
huh.
side.
That's funny. Most of the triggers for anything are just big old rectangular prisms or cubes. And so anytime there's like a cylindrical opening around a trigger or like a cylinder around a trigger, the trigger usually bleeds out around the edges, which, you know, for casual play doesn't really matter. For us is a very nice benefit because we're often outside the intended play space.
Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing in the third map of this chapter, actually.
Indeed. But first, here's some very narrow hallways and some very
Pretty
clean,
hard
long
to
jump
navigate.
movement. Yes.
Once you
Oh, I
let
got the
him-
snipe there. Nice.
Here comes Gonark. You gotta lay your eyes on her for a split second. Read 'em and read, boys.
Arachnophobic, don't look.
Doesn't even have 8 legs. There's 4 legs. There's not even a single bug on this earth that only has 4 legs. Like, come on.
Is it a dog or a cat?
Are they bugs?
I think Gonark is more of a bear. I'd say a bear.
Yeah.
I mean,
Close
I
enough.
accept your leg argument, but explain the cobwebs.
There's a lot of things that make webs that aren't spiders.
They're not real.
Mostly insects, but they do it, you know.
Give us an example.
There we go. And into more loading. Woohoo!
That was one of the first times I actually don't see Gonark. Because for some reason I'm not fast.
He's
Dang.
not slow.
Gotta pick up the pace. Gonark will spawn in there at the very end of the map. Kind of because we're going so fast, it struggles to keep up. And so if you wait around long enough in that final pool area, it'll pop up there for a split moment and crawl into the hole that we just jumped down.
Yeah, and the reason you don't want that to happen is when she appears like that out of thin air. Touching her makes you die instantly.
She's angry. All right, coming up here, we're gonna do quite a bit of. Oh my God, that is
Damn
a
it, I didn't
boost
get
I've never
it.
seen
You can just sort of like strafe over here, just
Huh.
for funsies, because you still have to shoot that thing. But I'm not good. I always
That's
go
pretty
too
gnarly.
high.
So
I've done
we're gonna
Gonark ILs.
see some more long jumping, navigating narrow hallways, but this is all building up to a funny little hole at the end of a long hallway. So Gonark is more or less chasing us here, especially once we make it out of this tunnel. And Gonark is a very big creature chasing us through very small tunnels. Unfortunately, the devs did not account for struggle to account for Gonark's enormous behind. And so they had to make this tunnel a little bigger than it looks, so to make sure Gonark could fit through here, pathfind through here, not get stuck. Which left a very tiny hole in the ceiling here that we can boost ourselves up to with a very specific lineup. Get ourselves out of bounds, and skip the entire final fight with that boss. By just boosting ourselves back into right here along the edge of the exit. And as Kovic mentioned earlier, a lot of times the change level triggers stick out, and so we're just going to hit the change level trigger from the outside of the hallway, and the game crashes.
Oh!
Another one.
I need to
Let's
fix
go.
me knowing I'm gonna lose all my time save in this map.
Uh-oh, did you not save?
No. It's just, well, I didn't save, but on top of that, my timer just likes to just, keep
Oh,
going.
keep going. Right.
So I'm just gonna
Oh,
load up the
heck.
quick save immediately. Please open console.
Wait, the timer stopped though. Yeah, your timer was paused the whole time.
No, but like it doesn't. It resumes like
In
whenever.
the menus.
Yeah, in the main
Oh,
menu.
I know that because you're not playing with dash console, the launch command, so it loads the background map in the main menu, and that one counts.
Never had that problem. Alright, whatever. This isn't gonna be a PV. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I'm
Shut.
watching on the Discord and not your stream, so I have no idea what your timer is doing right now.
Oh, but you can
It's
see
going.
the capture. I see. The game needs to be like running ticks or something to capture like that. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, it usually takes a while to come back. I've definitely had some runs of almost getting validated by starting the game back up, opening it up, and then running again before the game actually loads on stream, so you can't see what I'm doing. Anyway, this is Interloper, more or less the space version of Surface Tension. Very big maps, lots of explosives. Oh my god, that's juicy.
Oh!
Those are some very tiny slopes that he hit there to boost just from the beginning of the level dang near to the very end. Oh, what?
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
The Tau cannon being large electrical equipment, if you charge it and then dip your head underwater, it just kind of discharges.
They didn't really account
Does
for
damage.
Gordon to be using the Tau cannon in this manner, so they didn't expect it to be completely submerged underwater, which I think is just an
Yeah.
engineering flaw.
I mean, it's a prototype. It's got exposed batteries on the side of it. Like, come
They're
on.
Duracell too. They're like
It
double
also
A
makes the
batteries.
door sounds from Doom.
Indeed.
Those
I-
are like
I
the batteries that you get with your Xbox controller, like in the box, and they're just using it to power this gigantic like radioactive Tau cannon.
That's a beefy battery. No, there's just power the coolant for the reactor inside the gun. Alright.
I mean, it is the same universe as Portal, right? I bet this whole thing runs on like 10 volts or something.
True. Not
Yeah,
even.
fair
You get
point.
10 volts out of a potato? That's insane. Alright, I'm just gonna shut up and let the music speak for itself here. There's just some sick movement and a banger.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Oh, Knight DC'd.
No! Rip to a real one.
Doesn't want to talk about interloper.
What? It's my favorite level.
Damn it, didn't get it. I did that I did that terribly with no lineup.
The Kovic phrase there being, it ain't over until interloper.
Yeah, there's a lot of hard stuff in this game that saves a lot of time if you get it, and doesn't. And if you can't do it, there's not really a other way around it that doesn't lose you a crap ton of time. So runs can die here. Runs that look dead can be saved here.
Runs are made and runs are made here, and runs die here. It is what it is.
Forged in the fires of the Magic School Bus Anatomy episode looking level.
Made in the bowels of the tower, which is made out of slabs of Joel Nielsen's wife's ass.
All right.
Okay.
It's a true story, by the way.
My God.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you gotta be that upfront about it.
Yo,
If we ever do GDQ again, you got to mention that.
I think we did it last time.
We'll get banned.
We
I mean,
just didn't say it like that, but we did mention it last time.
The sound effects in Interloper when you're walking on the fleshy ground is him slapping his wife in the shower, I think.
Wait,
I don't believe that.
Are you serious?
No, this
No.
is confirmed. It's an actual quote from the guy.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
No better primary source. Also, here's a neat trick. The Tau Cannon can shoot through walls. There's an explosive barrel behind this big green wall, and Tau Cannon's gonna do funny things. Assuming we can get out of this wall.
I don't like this clip.
I don't like you. Why are you just
Yeah,
shitting on all my discoveries?
it's a stupid clip.
What? It's
Save
the
loading
one
for 1
clip-
minute to save 5 seconds, brought to you by the
Oh my
Source
God.
Engine.
It's the one clip in all of Zen. Come on.
This is why everyone should learn how to do this clip without having to do the clip.
That's true.
Alright,
There's
whatever.
a little light gate that spawns as you like drop through that vent, and if you boost yourself fast enough, you can get past it entirely. There we go. Looking for the wall bang. There we go. Right through the wall. Oh, delicious.
Ooh, nice.
My time save. I wonder where it went.
No, my time save. I can't see without my time save.
Somehow this might actually be able to be saved an elevator skip alone.
Yo.
Sub 110? Sub 110?
Not possible. Sub 112 though might actually be doable with this run, assuming that I keep pace, which
So
might
this,
actually be possible.
Oh wait, no, not this one.
I'm not gonna do. There's a different boost that I figured out here, but it's inconsistent, like all my tricks that I like attempt to find.
But those are the
Could be-
best ones.
You can do my lineup. Those are consistent.
Yeah, but they lose you like 2 minutes per map.
Now this one is state of the art.
Oh, okay, buddy.
That was so
telling yourself
lucky.
that. Oh, perfect height. All right, so coming up on this next map, there's just a big gaping hole that we need to boost into in the ceiling.
Hey, 12 seconds.
And we've had some very questionable strats for boosting into them. One of them, which was invented by T-Mob, and it was one of the most notorious T-Mob strats, because if you didn't know exactly what you were doing, you weren't getting it. And then a fellow named Action Storm came along, and he found a much easier, much faster way to do this. And as this was one of T-Mob's premier strats, Action Storm strat was thus named T-Mob Erasure Part 1.
You have to do the second try, please.
Oh,
Let's go!
Unfortunate.
well, there we go. That works. Almost all the way to the top. Oh god, it's gonna overcharge.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh
We promised this.
no, we broke even.
ABH.
ABH for the
Oh.
win.
Half-Life 2 reference. Coming up, we have
Fun Half-Life 2.
three maps where the main theme is conveyor belts, and oh boy, are these maps something. So
Wow.
this first one here is one of the biggest time saves in all of Zen. This is like a 5-minute map or something that we do in like 30 seconds. Because we just have a big old slope that we can satchel boost ourselves along and skip to the very end of the map.
That'll work.
Coming into it backwards again than the intended path. And the next map, probably one of the most unstable maps in the game. If anybody has a weird story about Black Mesa crashing and doing strange things, it's in this next one. So hopefully, if we're lucky, we don't gotta see any of that.
Damn.
Oh, bonk. After a great start. Uh-oh.
To be fair, if anyone hates this map more than I do, then they deserve a medal of some kind. I legitimately hate this map with a passion.
I
This
don't
map
think you've
is
seen,
Because of this boost.
I don't think you've seen Tables PB.
No, I probably haven't seen his on this map.
Tables just like
That worked out.
complete love of this map is what gave me the most hope in like my quest for world record. Because oh man, did that poor guy get stuck?
Why does everyone hate this map?
Because of the invisible wall in the ceiling.
Yeah, that's actually 100% of
Have
it.
you
It's just
verified my no clipping run?
No, that was shvok.
That was me.
Yeah, I hate that map.
To be fair, I think Table hates all of Zen.
Yeah. Long before a fellow named Johan came along, everybody hated Zen.
Okay.
And then people still hated Zen.
I don't hate them.
Kovic never hated Zen. Long ago, only one person liked Zen. There we go. So this is a funny strat. If you save load the tick you leave, the in-game tick that you leave the shower, it has this little beam that attaches to you that re-heals your...
I'm not actually
Suit.
getting it, so...
Wait, you had it.
No, I didn't. I wasn't getting shield.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
but
that
if
happens.
you save load as you leave, the beam will stay attached to you, so you won't be in the shower, but your suit armor will just keep recharging endlessly, which is very nice for a lot of upcoming very high damage explosive boosts.
This boost in particular.
Indeed. This is a legendary 2838 strat, the biggest boost, the highest single vertical boost we do. 3 trip mines, the most damaging explosive in the game, and 3 satchels. And then we line ourselves up against a very specific dot and pray that everything works out.
Are you going up? Are you going up?
That's just 2 satchels, those fellas.
Oh, what the heck?
That ain't gonna work. I saved midair. It's a good thing we have quick saves. Shout out to BindQuick01.
So I think it was actually Kovic that started doing the lineup with that little notch in there, because before that we just kind of not really YOLO'd it, but we didn't have such a precise lineup
Full
originally.
send.
Oh my god!
Oh,
That's what we call the biggest boost.
Let's
Oh, it
go.
goes
That is
flying.
the second time I've ever hit that period.
Let's go.
Please go to the sauce.
I almost hit it in my
Yo.
130. Almost. Yo, okay. So, let's see.
Alright.
Here we go.
Here it comes. The elevator map, the dreaded elevator map, used to take like 4 minutes. Now it takes 2. There's an elevator with 3 little boss fights. Mini boss fights that you need to clear to continue progressing up the elevator.
This might actually be it.
We have found a way to skip all of them with 3 very precise explosive boosts. This game, it could not be more perfect. You literally have 1 grenade to spare after you do all the explosive boosts. Everything else you need to use. Starting off here, we're going to use our 3 SMG grenades and slope off a very funny slope to get a crap ton of height. This one is very precise. He's looking for a very specific texture on the ground here. He's going to look straight up and then pray that the SMG grenades fall down in the right spot. And he's going to throw in a Tau boost for good measure. And now we hope.
That'll work.
And originally discovered some point. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
nice!
What a save!
What a
Very
gamer.
nice.
Oh, and he jumps on top of it for the time save? This despawns the enemy that normally spawns there?
Wait,
So
it does?
originally,
Yeah.
you can actually kind of flub the second gen room and not go for the full boost, because we discovered in the original iteration of Ambush Skip that as long as you're on one of the first 4 elevator rings, the first 4 for whatever reason don't get pulled down for the ambush cutscene with the controllers. So as long as you're on one of those rings, you can do the ambush skip. But since then, I think it was Johan here who discovered that you have just enough explosives by the end of this that you can do basically a full send all the way to the top with explosive boosting.
This is a very clean elevator so far. This is like notoriously something that everybody chokes in their marathon runs, and so far, Eold is killing it. This is unfortunately one of those mini boss encounters that we actually have to do the full thing just because there's a giant gate in our way that we can't get through by any other means. And also we need to heal up ourselves all the way so that we can use our remaining 2 trips along with
3
our remaining
satchels.
3 satchels, and then finally our remaining 3 rockets to get all the way to the top. 1. Oh,
Ah, I missed it. Happens.
So the strat to shoot rockets here with the quantum pause or unpause, you actually saw him perform this earlier in surface tension. But basically what you do is after you shoot the first rocket, you continue to hold your fire button on your mouse while hitting your unpause bind.
Let's go.
And so every time you come out of unpause, you just automatically fire another rocket or SMG nade.
Oh my god.
how fast was that?
Too fast.
1.
That was actually really good.
Oh, this is
Wait,
okay.
this is PB
okay,
pace.
Okay.
Go,
So
go,
alert.
go, go, go.
Holy shit.
I'm
All right,
sorry
this is
about
Russ.
Nyland.
Was it sub 2
You-
on the elevator?
I did not catch the time.
It
Probably.
was
156.
207. 207.
Oh. All right. Here we go. Close it out. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Stop
I made
choking.
a save. We're fine. That is if my save would load.
All right. Oh,
that may
Pretty
be
rough.
oof save.
Oh. No. Improv.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
old stretch. No.
That's what it is. It was.
Do the
it is what
Kovic
it is.
strat.
Oh, God. You weren't supposed to actually get close to PB here.
Yeah, no, I sort of wasn't. So
We were
I'm gonna
supposed
try
to
to
be talking
shut
about
up.
things. Yeah, go. Go.
Wait, so what's sub pro like? Forgot.
Whatever. Sub 111.
Take cutter
There
losses.
we go.
It's fine.
Okay. And then here comes the boss baby. Kovic, your son, take it away.
I mean, he's not there yet.
Well, he's gonna be.
Well, he is now.
He's not around for very long. You gotta start hyping him up.
Okay, so yeah, we're coming to the boss fight, which is the Nylonth, the big brain alien, and it's the boss fight is quite different in Black Mesa compared to Half-Life 1. It's got multiple phases. So starting off, Eol's gonna place 3 satchels, or rather 2 satchels. The third one comes later.
I didn't pick
in
it up.
these rings where crystals will come out of later, and we need to destroy those. Then we need to destroy these spinning crystal thingies that are charging up the shield. So it takes 3 rockets for each one. So we have 6 rockets that will destroy the first 2. And then for the final one, Eel's gonna do a funny long jump chain to get height, and then shoot the SMG grenade straight into the crystal, like that. And that destroys the shield, and now you can start shooting the Nylon. And once his health is reduced to 1, he will make the crystals rise from the ground, which is where we planted the satchels. And so once they rise from the ground, Eel's gonna...
No. There you go.
Yeah, he also didn't...
don't know.
Yeah, I just sort of need ammo and practice.
There you go, now he's gonna... No,
Yeah.
not yet. This is
what?
annoying animation. If he does this animation, he needs to finish the whole thing before the crystals rise up. There we go. Exploding all the 3 satchels at the same time to destroy all crystals at the same time. And now this is the, let's say, final phase where he still is dangerous. And this is just unload all you have.
Oh no. Oh no.
Can you kill him
you-
before the big laser? That's how you know you're
11.
fast.
Yeah.
If you PB this, it's an automatic verification.
Let's go.
True.
True.
If I somehow PB with this Nyland, this is
All right,
already
you,
slower.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Oh god.
Please.
15 seconds left.
Yeah, when he shoots the crystal
my
inside
God, look at
Nylon's head, it's gonna be time. So...
No shot.
Oh, you just
Oh, no.
son!
Oh no.
That sucks.
I got it down!
Seconds.
Fuck this.
That's a PB.
There we go.
Bro, what the
You
hell?
just
Proler 4 seconds.
Wait, what?
Dang.
Wait,
Oh
that's
my
sub proler?
Yeah, by 4 seconds. You got a 111.45.
Oh god, that's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Well,
That
if you
was- that
submit
could've
this,
been
it'll
way
be an
better.
automatic verification. So there you
Nice, let's go.
The
Jeez.
fucking cock block on this bike.
go. Damn.
Has that happened to anyone else? Please say
Yes.
no.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot. Also, just because you're here, Nylonth advice. On the final phase, after you blow up the crystals, until like the big explosion forms around him, none of the damage you do to him matters. So just worry about
I
restocking.
thought it
your
was
ammo
just
then.
when you shoot him and then you hear the noise.
So you
Yeah.
blow up the crystals, and then he groans around a bunch, and then like there's like an explosion that forms around his head, and then when that pops, then you can actually do damage to him.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you unloaded your entire gluon ammo while he was invincible, and then didn't have any ammo by the time you could fight again.
All right. Well,
That was a really good run.
no.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The interloper. That's sick.
First marathon PB. Okay, just some notes. First of all, I would like to talk about elevator. I think I figured out how to actually talk about elevator map. So I would like to talk about that in the run. Second of all, this is like something we always have issues with, where we talk so much about stuff that we're not showing off. Like, oh, this is how you do it in the other category, or like, oh, this is how you would do it in this version of the game, or like, oh, this is what happens in another game that's kind of similar. I don't know. Sometimes like the comparisons to other games could make sense, but like anybody watching this game or watching
They've
this
never
marathon
speedrun
run,
this. They don't know anything.
yeah, probably hasn't even played it, let alone knows what like no clipping is about, or like 1.5 is about, or like I don't know, other strats that we talk about but don't do. You can maybe mention them, but like I don't. We spend a lot of time talking about.
There's
sort
so
of
much
stuff.
stuff to try to mention, though.
Yeah, the other thing is, guys, we got to keep in track audience. Again, most people watching have not played this game. You don't need to go into crazy amounts of detail. That's why, honestly, I don't mind. Like, well, actually, for the weirder strats, explaining them is probably better than just like joking around about them. But like, yeah, at the end of the day, you don't have to explain everything in high detail.
We need to be a little bit more concise. That's all.
Yeah, I will say though, for the weirder strats, I think it is better to explain them than not. Like, I think that's like the thing with the elevator. Probably the best way to talk about it is just explain what the heck's going on, because there's a lot of weird stuff there, and like probably the same case when we got hostiles.
Yeah, no, we've got hostiles is gonna be so hard to explain.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
What do you think about it? I was hoping that I hit a pretty good balance between not going too deep, but like saying that it is physics shenanigans and that we were rotating.
The way that
Yeah,
me and Dirk
I think that's more
explained,
than
like,
fine.
Yes Clip was like, so Yes Clip is kind of similar with how it messes with one of the two hitboxes that the player has. I guess we could mention that, where it's like the player has two hitboxes and we're just messing with one of them right now, so that way they like snap back to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Eold, if you submit this run, you'll be in 4th place by 4 seconds.
Yeah, I heard. So bro alert. Let's go.
Golly. The other thing
That
is,
was first attempt.
I think it's better to talk about things before they happen than after.
Yeah.
Because that like kind of builds excitement rather than talking about it after. It's like the audience was not paying attention to it, so whatever you're talking about, they have no clue. Like,
That's a little
That's
bit
how I'd
more
imagine it
difficult
would.
in some spots like surface tension because things happen so fucking fast.
Yeah, no.
Especially if you
Yeah.
get it on the
Yeah.
first try.
you don't need to explain.
To
In
be
surface
fair,
tension,
my surface
Okay.
tension won't be as fast in the actual marathon, so you guys might have a little bit more time.
the other thing is like as long as we explain slope boosting at some point, like surface tension is a pretty simple. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it is mostly just slopes.
It's like it's kind of weird to explain damage boosting at first because like
That is
oh shouldn't that just kill you?
Yeah,
But no.
yeah. I don't know. Where do we? Because I guess usually.
I mean,
It's
we
like
can, if there's not too many donations or anything like that, we can take some of our initial cutscene time and explain some things. Then, later on, we're going to see prop clipping and then just give a really quick, like, this is a basic prop clip. And then, like, same thing for quantum pause. That way, like, when he actually gets there, you can be like, okay, and well, this is going to be the first quantum pause. But
Yeah.
everybody already knows what that is because it's been explained.
We can totally introduce quantum boss in the test chamber. If he
Oh yeah,
just
you're right.
Oh,
jumps
yeah,
off the ladder and quantum boss midair and the laser is still going on. And it's like,
Yeah,
look,
there's like
the
an
game is
example.
going.
And he's paused. Yeah, that's a great idea. But yeah, I think we can better utilize the beginning cutscenes where there's a lot of downtime to explain a lot of this stuff, which we've never actually even done before. So that way, when we get to it, it's just like, okay, this is what he's doing.
Yeah,
We should
that's a good
use
idea.
the last one of Lambda Core for Zen, like a lot Zen.
Isn't the
thingy.
downtime in Lambda Core?
I mean, do you think there's more to say? Because I honestly like the whole like I don't know. We save delete, get a bunch of explosives, a bunch of health. There's low gravity. We just start flying. I don't know. I don't know if there's like more that needs to be said about a lot of Zen stuff.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, that's basically that's what it is.
I
Yeah, no,
definitely
yeah,
could start talking about it a little bit earlier though. So like you're definitely right about that. Also, good lord, 5 people is a lot of people for commentary.
I didn't even know I don't know how many people I have watching my live splits blocking my OBS stats. But damn, okay, that run sucked. But that elevator skip sort of saved it. No, like I'm not gonna lie, the full send saved it, and then the elevator skip capitalized. It was
Bro,
like,
wait, you came into Interloper a minute behind and then left 40 seconds ahead. This is literally a direct copy of my own 111, which actually might have been a 111.40 something. Wait.
Yeah, no, because when I went into elevator skip, I was like, no, at the start of the run, I was mentioning an elevator skip, and I have a lot of time in it, but it's also the hardest trick. So it was sort of like, it's fine. I can maybe recover this time in elevator skip, but I can't rely on that now. I have to do it perfectly.
Kovic, why did you invalidate my runs? I can't see them on the fucking leaderboard anymore. God. Where is it?
What if I just put in the wrong time on purpose, so that way I'm number 1 for like what, 5 seconds?
No, we changed it before we accepted.
Damn.
Okay, not quite. My 111 was a 111.29, but it dang near followed the exact same path of this run.
It's okay. My island was way slower, probably.
Oh please, dude. Oh, please just sort that out. Actually, you know what? If you if nobody mentions it and we just like you make it look longer, then like it's more time to talk about Island. I guess.
Bro, but
strategically
yeah, but to
throwing.
be fair, I do need to fix my Nylith. I need to fix it.
It's not.
It's so doable as well. It's just that there's so many small things that go into it.
Do you want me to give you a
Johan
live tutorial
tutorial.
right now?
I mean,
Do you want me to
I'm
give you a
down,
live
sure.
tutorial right now?
I got a screenshot.
Do you want
the
him
splits,
to give
though.
you the live tutorial? He's like, what, 4th place on the island board, SMH?
Go ahead, be my guest.
Would you like to do it?
You're doing the full
Yeah.
game tutorial and you're like 6th place, man.
Yeah. Hey, hold on.
1 second.
You're one to
I'm
talk.
posting this to
I'm not
PV
making a live
posting in
tutorial
a
for the
bunch of
full
servers.
game, just the baby.
The baby.
Should we like
baby.
do shoutouts or whatever?